So, apparently Megan Thee Stallion and Cara Delevingne are besties for the resties? If you're wondering when did that happen, well, it seems like you along with everybody else, including Doja Cat, are wondering the exact same thing. Cara and Megan caught our attention when the two showed up together at this year's Billboard Music Awards. But it wasn't necessarily Cara being invited as Megan's plus one that had us scratching our heads, as questionable as that may be. More so as it was Cara's behavior that had people breaking their necks, and not in the way you may think. Sprinkling confusion on top of confusion, the two were spotted leaving a hotel together, which prompted dating rumors as well as a rabbit hole of Cara's past odd behavior that we will be discussing later on in the video. So, is Megara actually happening? Or is this just another fan-made-up ship that may be on the brink of sinking? In case you didn't know, model, actress, and whatever else in between, Cara Delevingne single-handedly kept her foot on the 2010s. Sites like Tumblr and every Pinterest mood board couldn't seem to get enough of her. Twitter headers and display icons were an abundance of Cara everything, and her famous eyebrows during the eyebrow obsession phase had been routinely used for reference. Needless to say, she was in fact the moment. Cara's anti-celebrity, quirky persona contributed to her popularity, helping her seal the Model of the Year title in both 2012 and 2014. But she's been pretty low-key over recent years, which is why when she showed up to the 2022 BBMAs, or Billboard Music Awards, people were kinda surprised. That and the fact she showed up with Megan Thee Stallion, out of all people, since many weren't aware that the two knew of each other's existence, let alone how close the duo had become. As sweet and kumbaya as that all sounds, there was a moment at the show where Megan was doing what Meg does, on her hot girl-ish, interacting with fans and all that jazz, before hitting the red carpet to get her pics taken. Taking the train of her bottom piece and flicking it into the air, Megan was giving the girls photo editorial tease before folks noticed a bunned-up blonde peeking in and out from behind the backdrop of the red carpet. Stepping out from her hiding position entirely, a wild Cara appears to aid Megan in her red carpet photo op, serving as Megan's personal fan both figuratively and literally. The interaction, of course, had the Stan Twittersphere running to their phones to add their 2 cents about the ordeal. Many questioning if Cara was either high or drunk or possibly both. Inside the ceremony didn't quite help the claims either. If the outside interactions weren't convincing you that Cara was hiding a liquor stash somewhere in her purse, then perhaps her inside shenanigans did. Seated next to fellow Billboard nominee Doja Cat, cameras had captured the trio's friendly banter all night, as well as Cara's wonky behavior. A rather viral incident of Cara peeking from behind Doja's seat had made its way around the web, resulting in memes and parodies. The entire ordeal sparked booger sugar rumors, if you get my drift, and in true Twitter-like fashion, other incidents of Cara's behavior had been dug up from the 2010s archive and brought to the forefront, which leads us into our next portion of the video. Following the award show, Megan had retreated back to her stable, all whilst the interweb concocted think pieces and receipts, citing video evidence of past incidents between Meg, Cara, and Azalea Banks? Just a few days prior to the Billboard Awards, Megan and Cara were spotted on the dance floor having a good old funky time. That is, until Cara got a little too comfortable and began getting all up in Megan's personal bubble. In the video, we see Megan slightly push Cara, and Cara, not missing a beat, proceeding to tell Megan about whatever issue she wanted to get off her chest. This incident alone had people wondering why Meg was putting up with Cara when it was clear, or was it, that Meg found Cara slightly overbearing, given that Meg herself actually reposted a photo from a fan account to her own Instagram story after the Billboard Awards, and hotties noticed that the photo was missing something, or in this case, someone. Cara had in fact been removed from the flick altogether, the original picture being that of Doja Cat, Megan, and a blurred Cara in the middle. The repost led fans to believe that Megan did not want to be associated with the Paper Town actress following the night. But some fans argue that maybe Meg didn't even notice her friend had been cropped from the pic since it was a repost after all. On top of Megara going from friendly gal pals to no longer being associated. All rumors, of course. Before the event had began, the pot was hot and being stirred faster than a hurricane in the middle of the Pacific Ocean when Cara and Meg were leaving a hotel together, making us wonder if the two were perhaps staying together. Staying together. For those in the back, it's no secret that Cara is openly bi and pansexual, and as far as Megan goes, she hasn't really come out and said anything about being certified straight. Some of the lyrics in her music also hint at being curious, so perhaps she could be as straight as a circle. On top of a comment Doja had made toward Megan and Cara about how she, quote, loved the two together. Whatever you think it may mean, fans are gonna do what fans do and come up with a bunch of ways to prove that the two are in fact a couple. But I'll leave that all up for you to decide. Following the mishap, a video of Cara lacking boundaries at an Azalea Banks concert resurfaced. Let Julia Fox, aka Kanye's 3-week-old rebound, tell it. She, coincidentally enough, was also at the same Azalea Banks show and witnessed the entire incident go down, and fortunately for us, she was willing to share the wonky experience. According to Julia, Azalea had been performing her sets as per normal when audience goers noticed an angsty Cara attempting to pry her way to the front row. She tried for at least 35 minutes, again according to Julia, before eventually and somehow succeeding to get up on stage. This is when things took a wild and weird turn. Similar to the whole Megan situation, Cara doesn't seem to understand what the word no means, nor does she seem to understand what a boundary is, because in the video we see her all up in Azalea's face, again similar to the Megan situation. Cara, who seemed to have been a little loose off the goose, crouches down at Azalea's feet before doing a sort of kissing motion, inching all the way up Azalea's leg. She then proceeds to bow down to Azalea and also tries to pry the microphone away from her in mid-performance. Although Azalea didn't necessarily look distraught, it was prevalent that she was pretty uncomfortable with the whole situation. Another time Cara had been caught invading someone's personal space was at the 2013 Victoria's Secret fashion show. The show featured a performance by Rihanna. You know, the one where she gave that strut down the runway. Following the performance, Rihanna surprisingly ran into an excited Cara backstage who, unprovoked mind you, slapped Rihanna's backside as a display of a job well done. Cara herself boldly admitted to the entire incident later on. Between Megan, Azalea, and Ree, we probably haven't even reached the tip of the Cara invaded my space iceberg. Among those who have sounded off on the incidents, they all seem to agree on the idea that if Cara was a Carter, her behavior toward these women would be no laughing matter. All three incidents also triggered a discussion about white women feeling obligated to black women's spaces. But that's a can of worms we won't be opening on this video. The lack of boundaries Cara routinely displays. Another incident happened some years ago pertaining to Cara's ex-girlfriend Michelle Rodriguez, more famously known for her role in the Fast and Furious franchise. Although this one is slightly different from the past incidents mentioned, it semi-paints a picture of the lack of boundaries Cara routinely displays. Keyword in this video is boundaries, in case that wasn't clear by now. During a basketball game that Michelle and Cara attended, the two were caught showing public displays of affection a little too intimately. Drinking, smoking, blowing smoke rings, and all of the above, it seemed as if the two had no regard for the fellow attendees around them. This was obviously met with a wave of backlash and pushback from folks who wanted Cara and co. banned from any further events. Her problematic and highly questionable behavior over the years has been building up surely and steadily. Her popularity following her odd shenanigans has unfortunately dwindled in recent years, and folks are concluding that the nepotism blondstress is always either higher than a kite or drunk out of her mind, but perhaps her battle with ADHD may play a part. Her drug usage, allegedly, Could also be an indicator given that Cara's mother was an avid drug user, resulting in Cara's teenage battle with depression. Or maybe she just isn't aware of what a boundary is. Cara honestly just seems like she's never heard of the word no in her entire life, or the words back up. As far as we know, Megan and Cara are still friends, and it all honestly just seems as though Cara is a major stan or sasang, if you will, of the industry she's part of. Do you think there could possibly be something more between Cara and Megan? Let us know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments section, and stay tuned for more true celebrity stories.